Hi everyone, welcome back. I was thinking about when I was a teenager in the summertime, and what was in style back then were tube tops. Everybody had them, even I did. They looked cool. We could actually wear we could actually wear something without wearing a bra, because that was a big thing back then. You didn't go without a bra. But there was a side effect that we were all aware of as girls, particularly teenage girls, that there was always a chance that some boy would either come up behind us and pull it down, or worse, be talking to you and then reach out, grab it, pull it down, and the girl be like, ah! Because they were now topless and naked. And the boys would be laughing, and the boys would dare each other to do this. It was very not PC now, but it's probably not PC back then, but it was one of those boys will be boys things, which is such a bullshit. Anyway, so I had my tube top on that I had bought and finally had enough nerve to go out of the house with. And I was walking up to the local, we had like a 3-story strip thingy about 2 or 3 blocks away from my house, and I ran into the local kids. I wasn't really friends with them. I really didn't even play with them, but we'd run into each other walking and just, start talking. And so we were on the way back from getting our drinks and stuff. My guard was down. I wasn't thinking. I was talking to the oldest boy. He was about 15. I think I was of a similar age. I wasn't thinking, and he started walking in front of me. Again, I wasn't thinking, and he just got a twinkle in his eye, and I'm like, what is he gonna do? He reached out so quick, I didn't even see it coming. I was like, ugh. I just went like this. I didn't scream or anything. I didn't do, ah! I was like, ugh. I just grabbed it, pulled it back up again. I'm like, real cute, real cute. And he's laughing, and everybody's laughing and making fun, and I said, yeah, I gotta go. Screw you, the equivalent of what we said at the time, and I went home. And that was the last time I ever wore that thing out in public. Fast forward to a year later. As I said, these neighborhood kids, they tended to hang around. I'd see them going up and down the blocks, but I stopped. After that, I pretty much stopped hanging out in any way, shape, or form. And so this one summer, they kept hanging out. There was a street light across the way from my house. And this summer, in the evening, the neighborhood kids would be hanging out under this street light when the sun went down, so they could stay out till, way late. It was evening. It was still light out, but the sun was going down. I was listening to their conversation, and somehow the conversation got onto being tough. How tough could you be? And I guess in the back of my mind, I wanted payback to this kid. So I started interjecting comments about, if you were tough, blah, blah, blah. And kind of setting him up and goading him on, so he would have to say, yeah, I've done this, I'm tough, I've done that, da, 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 da. So I had recently been reading up about punishments. Don't ask where this was going, but I'd been reading about different punishments throughout time, and I had learned about switches. Now, I obviously come from the East. We didn't tend to do switches when you punished your kids. You tended to do spankings, or maybe, a wooden spoon on the butt. You didn't do switches. Switches were considered more of a Southern thing. So I just learned about them, and I said, hey, I just heard you can always, you could make a punishment tool out of anything. And he's like, yeah, like what? And I said, well, like a switch. And he's like, well, what's a switch? And I told him what a switch is. I said, here, let me show you. And I came out from behind my fence and went across to there was a house across the way that had, half the property was all little wooded areas. And I grabbed a thin piece of twig off of not twig, but I don't know what you want to call branch, off of a tree. And I did like I had read, you take all the leaves off and whatever. I said, this is a switch. And he's like, that's not going to hurt you. And I'm like, oh, well, hey, you're a tough guy. Let's try it out. Let's see. You want to try? And he's like, yeah, I can do this. I'm tough. I can do this. I convinced him to turn around. He had his t-shirt on. He didn't take it off. I wasn't going to try to convince him that because I figured I was pushing too far. And I did a couple, and I'm like, how's that feel? It's fine. I can take it. That ain't nothing. So I convinced him to go down on his knees. And then I started wailing. I said, how's that? Can you take it? Because I can go harder. Yeah. Keep it going. I can take this. So I probably gave him about 20 to 30 hard switches on the back. I was having a ball. Finally, we're done. I said, yeah, I think that's good, don't you? And he's like, yeah. I started hearing that his voice was not as strong as it had been earlier. And he got up and he's like, yeah, see, I took that. I'm good. I wonder what your back looks like. It's probably okay. Okay, well, can we see it? Okay, yeah, I can show everybody. And so he pulls up his shirt. And his shirt looked like this. Except worse. He had out of probably, he had about I would say a third of all the marks on his back were bleeding. And I was rather surprised, even through a t-shirt, that he was bleeding. I was like, wow. I said, you're even bleeding back here? I am? Yeah, you are. Wow, you are tough. You took that and you're bleeding. Yeah, I'm tough. I could take it. I'm like, I'm impressed. Good job. Well, I gotta get inside. It's dinner time. Have fun. And I turned around and I walked back into my apartment. And that is a perfect example of payback. And also an example of revenge always tastes sweeter cold. I want to thank you for stopping by. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you've got a tale where this happened to you, put it down in the comments. More your side of getting the payback. And we'll see you in a couple of days. Bye-bye.